creeping now from SRS. Obviously, with just such a large army, this is so easy to creep, even though it's a pretty tricky camp. And picking up a great push or greater healing, probably less useful for SRS really than it is. Moon with his invisible Demon Hunter now comes in, does have a TP and a healing potion in case he gets dusted or something, but I imagine he just wants to know what's really going on, and some good map awareness will really pay dividends in this point, especially considering he's very happy to just creep up his Pit Lord. And I'm sorry, I couldn't quite see. Utsukoff lost some very nice items for Remade Fox at this point. So I'll go very nicely on the Blade Master or the Demon Hunter, but I imagine the Blade Master. And SRS now moving in. Obviously they don't have a very strong army. I think they probably feel that they do, but they definitely don't. Especially considering that WMF Fox is also putting up an expansion now, and I imagine they'll go up pretty quickly. They'll be up and running pretty quickly before SRS could even scout it, even if they pretty much left now. And that Shadow Hunter does get focused down very quickly, and Violet is forced to TP out. And I'm not sure. Yeah, Dowaq does TP out as well. Some a Rain of Fire being used, hitting those fiends originally, but eventually just hitting the Demon Hunter. And so Moon probably could have cancelled it a bit earlier. And Violet now going to lose one straggling Raider, but certainly it's not sort of the worst of his losses. And WMF Fox now going for the hardest creep on the camp or on the map. And this is actually a pretty fun camp to creep, because in case you didn't know, you can actually put a watchtower back here. You can attack it with a peon and just creep it out with the watchtower and then get your final hit with something. Obviously it doesn't have to be a watchtower, but traditionally it is, because it means that you can just get your Blade Master in to get the final hit. That's really fun creeping. You can actually do that on the new map Amazonia as well, I've noticed. Certainly a couple of people have been doing that. It's a pretty fun trick to do, and it's a really simple creeping, and for a very nice item. We'll have to see what they get here. Presumably they're hoping for no, they don't get a scroll, unfortunately. They get Talisman of the Wild, which I think can probably be no Destros yet, but I think we'll probably be seeing the Destro upgrade pretty soon, if not already. Statues are coming out, but as soon as obviously those Destros come out, that's gonna render that Talisman pretty much useless, and so we might either see it sold or used as soon as possible. And meanwhile SRS are keeping out the equivalent camp, and I'm not sure what item they picked up here. Potion of Divinity, a very nice item for Dowaq there. 25 seconds of vulnerability is really fun, because you can basically go crazy. Obviously best either on the Blade Master or the Death Knight. Pretty fun on the Blade Master, really, just have 25 seconds of free hitting basically, and there's nothing they can do about it. But Lin now coming in, looks like he's just going to catch off these straggling grunts, and SRS will definitely need to turn around, because they won't be able to afford to lose all these units. And Moon is now here with Lin, and so we will be seeing some sort of push here. Looks like it's just actually a speech goal being used by Dowaq there, just to get in position, but Lin actually loses his Blade Master very quickly now. Some very nice focus there by Dowaq, and a nice hex at the last second there by Violet means that actually he loses his Blade Master so quickly, and Shadow Hunter is forced to TP out now. And I think that was actually Moon's CP, which he passed. I noticed that Demon Hunter actually went to the Shadow Hunter there. I think he actually passed that TP, because I think presumably at least the Blade Master had the TP, if there was one at all. Actually a Scroll of Protection now for Moon as well. It's a bit surprising that Moon would have this, considering he's all Dryads, but I guess considering he's not going to be taking a fight without Lin around, it's not too bad. Lin obviously just making the most of not having a Blade Master around, it's just going to be creeping some really simple camps really close to his base, and healing potion or healing fountain now being used by SRS, just healing up. I think he should probably leave his Raiders there a bit longer. 0-1 upgrades for the Raiders, and I imagine 1-0, 2-0 upgrades actually for these Fiends now. Still no expansion on this. Oh no, I think this expansion was just scouted by Violet, but the Ancient of War is actually blocking these units, and Moon now in Dowaq's face, being forced to TP out and losing one Dryad in the process, but he did manage to force Dowaq to TP in, so certainly not a bad trade there, considering it protected his expansion, and he did actually TP to his expansion as well. And so I think Violet knows that and won't be trying to pick this fight, because he knows that Lin must be around somewhere, and that Blade Master must be back pretty soon. And let's just take a quick look now. That Blade Master, yeah, is pretty close to being back now, and looks like SRS are moving in now. They have a pretty strong army, and I think they will be able to take down this expansion now. But meanwhile, we are seeing a Lin expansion now in the top of the map, and so I think we are seeing sort of the contractual contractual fulfillment of just expanding always in 2 versus 2 from Lin here, and Moon bringing out his wisps now and just getting detonates. Obviously, no, he doesn't. SRS doesn't manage to kill any of them, and so 5 detonates, pretty nice just for draining mana. Even if you don't hit all of the units all the times, it's certainly some pretty nice play. And actually, a Demolisher now coming out for Violet. It's a shame it's being cut out of place. Demolishers can be so powerful, but just out of place or anything like that, and it will just go down so quickly. And a speech scroll now being used by Lin, and Lin now moving to the burrows. I'm surprised actually he isn't going for these strongholds. But meanwhile, SRS are bringing in their entire army to Moon's base, and I imagine they'll be able to take it out if they don't TP back in. I don't think they would actually. Moon are trying to get out some wisps. Should be using that Moon. No, Moon doesn't use his Moon Wells to heal up his wisp, and so he does lose the ones that he was trying to evacuate, presumably to put up an expansion somewhere else. And Lin looks like he's going to be taking out this entire base rather than just taking out the main and then running away. And so Moon, meanwhile, actually with his sort of pitifully small army, just running in, should actually use Rain of Fire on those acolytes just to stop mining for a bit. And the TP now being used, and Moon will want to get out of here as soon as possible. Actually, one abomination is now does now go down, and Moon does actually is staffed out, but he has to staff out his Demon Hunter, which has the TP, and so he will just have to run away now. But he looks like he will manage to get away. And then Violet has now lost the majority of his base, and Lin, I assume, with pillage. No, Lin doesn't have pillage. That's a bit odd. He really should get it. Anyways, Moon has lost his base as well, so we are seeing sort of 2 bases against 2 bases, but Lin does have this, or sorry, 1 base against 1 base, but Lin does have this expansion up, and I think looks like Violet's just going to continue taking out these units. Violet, interestingly, doesn't have pillage either, and he's given all his resources to Dowaq now, and looks like he's never just going to have anything ever again. At 43 out of 0 food here. Lin now around this Demolisher, but too many raiders about to actually be picking any fights. Actually does try and attack this Demolisher, will probably get ensnared here. Does have an invuln pot and a TP, but I don't see the point in this attack. It seems like it's just sort of a pointless waste of time, and is forced just to run away eventually. A bit crazy move there by Lin, but as if he can keep this expansion up and keep it out unscouted, that could probably win him the game. And meanwhile, Lin has now actually started his upgrade to tier 3, which is a bit unusual. I guess reinforced defenses will be pretty nice in a base race type game, but Dowaq is now defending his expansion very intensively, and so Lin won't be able to actually fight. And looks like Violet is now TPing again as well, so it looks like SRS are itching for a fight here, and I don't think Moon's around. Moon's a bit far away, and so Lin definitely is not going to be fighting. Also, Lin has an expansion up, actually has been scouted now by Dowaq, and so obviously Fox is in no rush to fight, because the longer they wait, the better it's going to get, and so they do just decide to TP out, because obviously they just need to be wasting time here. It looks like Lin managed to get out without actually losing any units, and Moon taking this opportunity to possibly creep. Really sort of an odd move. Creeping these camp with Dryads is just so much fun, because basically all the damage comes from all the spells, and so if you just use Dryads, I've seen people do it before, it is very possible. If you just use Dryads, you can creep it very quickly, especially if you use something like an Orc ally, so you can use salves to heal up your Dryads immediately afterwards. And we are now seeing 3-3 from Moon, and probably going to be pretty close to 4 on this Demon Hunter now. He might get it, I'm not sure how much experience he's thinking. No, doesn't quite get it. A bit far away, but does get a Spike Collar, so lots of extra mana burn for Moon here. And Lin's expansion now going down, so it's going to be 1 mine versus 1 mine, and I'm not sure actually how much he even managed for mine from there. No, he didn't manage to get much from there, which is a bit of a shame, but certainly it wasted a bit of SRS's time, which is worth something in itself. And a Bat Rider now coming in now for Lin, just obviously against those Destros, because there's a whole bunch of things that those Destros are going to be doing damage to here. Apart, obviously nothing in Moon's army, but apart from actually there's some Spike Collar, but the Fellhound, but with Spirit Link and these Furlborgs being summoned, I think there's a lot that those destroyers can do, and Lin really wants to avoid those. And Lin now taking a lot of damage on his base. Tier 3 is coming up, and so he might decide to wait for tier 3 before fighting, because that orb would be pretty nice, but it looks like he isn't deciding to. And Moon now TP's in, I think, yeah, there's a TP there, and now taking a lot of damage, actually, these fiends are, sorry, just from that Rain of Fire. There's some pretty nice placement there by Moon. Obviously Dowaq moves them pretty quickly, but Moon can always recast it pretty quickly if he needs to, and he is actually saving the Spike Collar for some reason. I'm not sure why. And this Lynn's Blademaster is taking a lot of damage, does have a TP, and does have to pop an invuln pod as well. And actually Dowaq now loses his, or sorry, Violet now loses his Blademaster, and looks like this is actually gonna go very well for We Made Fox, which is very surprising actually, considering the sort of the impressive army that they did have. And the Death Knight does go down as well, and that Lich goes down there, and there's the GGs there from Dowaq. Some very nice play there by We Made Fox, winning that 2-0. I really hope you enjoyed that, folks. I'll try and cover one more game today because I haven't been away for a while, but I can't make any promises. I'll see you, folks.